There is a bird standing in the swamps of Central Africa right now. It has not moved in over an hour. It is waiting, and when something finally swims close enough, it strikes with the speed of a predator that has had 60 million years to perfect its technique. This is the shoebill. And the question is simple. How does a bird, a creature we associate with song and flight and fragility, become one of the most feared hunters in Africa? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will understand why even crocodiles give this bird a second look. To understand the shoebill, you first have to understand where it lives. The swamps of the Nile, specifically the vast papyrus marshes stretching across Uganda, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. These are not pleasant places. The water is shallow, warm, and starved of oxygen. Visibility near zero. Rotting vegetation blankets the surface. Most animals avoid these zones entirely. But certain fish have adapted to survive here by surfacing to breathe air. The lungfish, the beach ear, the catfish. And that is exactly where the shoebill has staked its territory. Where other predators cannot easily follow. Where the prey comes to it. For millions of years, this bird has owned these swamps. Fossil records suggest the shoebill's lineage is ancient, genuinely prehistoric in character, shaped by an Africa that no longer exists. When you see it standing there, unmoving, you do not think bird. You think something older than that. Let us talk about the engineering here. Because this animal is built for one thing. The bill. It is enormous, up to 24 centimeters long and roughly 10 centimeters wide at its base. Shaped like a Dutch clog, which is exactly where the name comes from. But the shape is deceptive. The edges are razor sharp. The tip curves into a vicious hook, and the force behind it, when it snaps shut, is enough to crush a lungfish, sever a small snake, or stun a juvenile crocodile. Here is the thing about the shoebill that stops people cold when they first see it. This bird can stand completely still for up to an hour. Not shifting, not flinching, just waiting. It is a hunting strategy called wait and ambush. And it is devastatingly effective. When something surfaces within range, the bird lunges forward with its entire body, wings spread for balance. Bill drives straight into the water. The strike takes less than a second, and the prey almost never escapes. But here is the jaw-dropping part. The shoebill does not just grab its prey, it decapitates it first. With a sharp sideways shake of that massive head, it severs the head or crushes the spine, instantly killing or immobilizing the animal before swallowing it whole. This is not scavenging. This is precision execution. The shoebill stands at roughly 1.2 meters tall. Its wingspan stretches to around 2.4 meters. It is, in every physical sense, a top-tier predator. Now, the crocodiles. This is what most people cannot believe. The shoebill has been documented hunting juvenile Nile crocodiles, not large ones. The juveniles, which can reach up to half a meter in length. But let that sink in. A bird actively hunting crocodiles. It uses its large taloned feet to pin the prey against the mud while the bill does its work. The crocodile at that size stands little chance. It is pinned, crushed, and consumed. Now, adult Nile crocodiles are a different matter entirely. A full-grown crocodile could kill a shoebill without much effort. And the shoebill knows this. When large crocodiles are near, the bird simply moves. It is not reckless, it is calculating. This is not courage born from ignorance. It is the behavior of an animal that has learned exactly where its advantages end. What makes the shoebill genuinely unsettling, beyond the appearance, beyond the hunting, is the way it looks at you. The eyes are large, pale yellow, and set near the front of the head, giving it forward-facing binocular vision. Like an owl, like a primate. This is not common in birds. It suggests depth perception, precision targeting. In Uganda, where ecotourism has made some shoebills semi-accustomed to humans, observers have reported that the bird will actually turn to face people and hold eye contact for extended periods. Not fleeing, not threatening, just watching. Wildlife researchers who study them have described the experience as deeply uncomfortable, because the bird's gaze carries something that feels like assessment. Like it is deciding what category you fall into. Threat or irrelevant. Most of the time, it decides you are irrelevant, which is somehow worse. The shoebill nests on large floating platforms of vegetation built on the water itself where land predators cannot easily reach. The nest can span nearly 2 meters across. Typically, 2 eggs are laid. But here is the brutal reality of shoebill parenthood. The parents usually raise only one chick. Not because the second egg fails to hatch, often both do, but the stronger chick will outcompete and attack the weaker one, and the parents do not intervene. It is called siblicide, and it is surprisingly common in large predatory birds. The parents invest everything into the surviving offspring. Quality over quantity. What is remarkable is that shoebill parents actively cool their chicks in extreme heat by carrying water in their bills and pouring it over the nest. In a swamp that can become brutally hot, this behavior is essential to the chick's survival. A juvenile shoebill will stay with its parents for 3 to 5 years before becoming fully independent. This is a long investment. It tells you how complex the skills are that this bird must learn. There are fewer than 8,000 shoebills left in the wild. The swamps they depend on are shrinking. Papyrus marshes are drained for agriculture. Fishing communities, who sometimes view the shoebill as competition or catch it accidentally in nets, add further pressure. The birds are also targeted by the illegal wildlife trade, captured young and sold to private collectors. The shoebill is currently classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, not endangered yet. But the trajectory is not good. And the tragedy is that this bird is so rare, so isolated in its swamp habitats, that most people in the world have never even heard of it. Something that took 60 million years to build, standing in a shrinking patch of swamp, waiting, as it has always waited. So, back to the question, how does a bird become one of the most feared hunters in Africa? It does not evolve speed for speed's sake. It does not evolve brute strength. It evolves patience, precision. An engineering solution, that bill, perfectly matched to a hostile environment every other predator avoids. It claims a niche so specific, so punishing to reach, that almost nothing can challenge it there. The shoebill does not stare down crocodiles out of arrogance. It does it because, in its swamp, in its world, it has earned the right to stand still and wait. And everything else works around that. That is 60 million years of refinement, looking right back at you. If you want to keep exploring the animals that evolution turned into something extraordinary, subscribe. We find the ones most people never hear about. And next time, we are looking at a creature that lives in the deep ocean and produces enough venom to kill 50 adult humans. And does it not as a weapon, but as a hunting tool. That one is not to be missed.